It's strange stops and stories. The adventures of Ryan.
Yeah, I would.
So we're here with Noel and Antonia from 1984. So guys, that was an amazing performance. We've just seen it. Thank you so much for speaking to us today. My first question is, how relevant was bringing this show to the Fringe this year?
I think when we decided to create the show, I don't think we were in quite the position that we are now, because obviously the process of making the show takes quite a while. So we were probably talking about it at last year's Fringe.
I think actually it was the previous one.
That's what I thought, yeah. So it had been suggested to us a couple of times as an option, and we'd sort of wanted to do something with a little bit more of a kind of sci-fi leaning as well. Obviously, even when we read it at the time, not having read it for a while, you know, it felt very relevant. But then, while we were working on it, and while we were working on the adaptation, it just seemed like every day you'd see something else on the news that meant it felt more and more up to date. I mean, I think sometimes there were bits that I was reading and I felt like, yeah, I've just seen someone say that word for word on the TV. So, I mean, I don't want to say it's a kind of happy coincidence, but it feels like it's synchronicity, and it just is the right time to be doing this kind of show.
No, and I think you're absolutely right that it's very relevant to what's going on in the world today. Quite scary that it's going on in the world today. So one of the things, why puppets? Why using puppets as part of the process, and how did you find integrating that into the story?
So we use puppets for all of our productions in a variety of ways, and we use different kinds of puppets for different characters and different shows. So there were always going to be puppets. It was just really how we were going to use them. And normally we cast based on personality of the character or what story we want to focus on. This was a little bit different. We decided that the puppets provided a wonderful metaphor for how much the party was controlling the person or not. So obviously you would have noticed that Winston Smith is sometimes a puppet, and then he becomes human in a way as he regains his agency over his life. And we're really pleased that we went with that rather than just using them for characters. I feel like it adds to the story. I hope it does anyway.
No, and I think you saw that through Winston. You also saw it through Julia, and that sort of live character throughout until that bit at the end where actually she'd been completely destroyed, and it was really, really powerful seeing that as well. So one of the things that you mentioned sort of at the end of your show was about like sustainability and recycling and stuff. How important is that to you being through this process?
That's been an important thing for our company since the very beginning. And I mean, in the beginning there was a practical element to it as well. Kind of necessity is the mother of invention, and because we didn't have a lot of money or a lot of resources at the beginning, we were making puppets out of everything that we had lying around. So, you know, pizza boxes, toilet rolls, bed valances. But I think that as the company's grown and progressed, it's been something that's kind of stayed close to our hearts. We try and make sure that the productions are also very compact in terms of touring. So for touring a show like this, for example, to be able to do that in a single vehicle, just in a car, everything packs down into those trunks, and it means hopefully that it's a relatively low impact in terms of travel. Also means that we can take the show on the plane, so if it goes overseas, it's a very simple one to transport. And then, having come to the festival for so long, I guess a few years ago we saw the bin strike, and I don't know whether you guys were around for that, but you kind of saw the impact of the amount of rubbish that is generated during the festival if it's not being picked up. And we just thought, well, maybe it's possible to do
Well, that was
something
the
different,
first year,
you know.
in fact, that we had come without any flyers, funnily enough.
Yeah, as luck would have
And
it.
we were very glad that we hadn't bought any more rubbish to pile up on the side. I mean, it's not for everyone, but for us it felt slightly hypocritical to be sort of bleating about the fact that we make everything from recycling and sustainable materials where we can, and then to bring a load of paper just felt like it wouldn't really go with that ethos. So yeah, for now, I don't know, this is our fourth year?
I think it's the fourth year of doing it, and the feedback's been really good as well. You know, we often get people coming up to us while we're out with the boards where we don't have any flyers, and we have a little sign saying please just take a photo or scan the code, and the reaction is generally pretty positive.
So I suppose one of the questions for you guys is as creative individuals and performers, looking at the world just now and where we're going, do you see us, and bringing it that that science fiction feel to it, do you see us in a Star Trek utopia in 100, 200 years' time, or do you see 1984 as the place where we're going to end up?
Personally, I try not to look too far ahead because I just get really anxious. I mean, I hope we're going Star Trek way, not the other way, but I mean, who knows? It's not exactly happy when you turn on the television and listen to the news or the radio in the morning, so I mean, I dread to think. The only thing I feel like we can all do is to keep making interesting shows that hopefully make people think a little bit and try to do the small bits that we can to help maybe not boil the planet so much. I mean, I honestly...
I'm an optimist, I suppose, so I try and look on the bright side. I think that coming to a festival like this, even after all the years that I've been coming, you can watch a lot of terrible news, you know, if you turn on the TV, but coming to somewhere like this and connecting with people and seeing the difference that it makes when people share stories and when they actually do connect and talk to each other, you know, that gives me a little bit of hope that if we can just do that, if maybe the positive side of social media is that we actually do connect with each other and start talking to each other and realise that we're all in the same boat, that come on Star Trek, you know.
I agree, come on Star Trek, and it's quite a positive message to get out there. I suppose on the sci-fi theme, it would be remiss of me not to bring up, you had a wee was it a starring role in Doctor Who a couple of seasons ago?
I wasn't. It certainly wasn't a starring role. You wouldn't recognise me even if you watched every episode. But I used to work doing kind of skin costumes and big puppets and stuff like that. So for Doctor Who, I think I've been in Ood for some of the live events. I was a giant robot in an episode called Dinosaurs on a Spaceship, and I'm actually I was hoping to be a Cyberman, but my head is too big. They told me my head's too big, it won't fit inside the Cyberman's helmet, so that was a no-no, I'm afraid.
So, finally, how have audiences, now we're only in really the start of the Fringe, we've still got a few weeks left, how have audiences reacted to the show so far?
It's been very positive, hasn't it? Which has been amazing. And we, as you will have heard, Noel does a little speech at the end asking people to tell other people about it. And so far, people have been amazing at doing that because it's been very full and people have said wonderful things. It's very sweet. We wander around and someone will come up and tell us how much they've enjoyed the show. I think the other reaction there has been, wow, gosh, that people will tell us about how relevant they think it is or something that they've listened to that day that's made them think, gosh, like we're basically living there. Somebody told me they didn't realise that Orwell was writing a handbook for life today, and I thought, oh gosh, that's a depressing thought. But I feel like there's that reaction as well as the enjoyment of the theatre of it.
And what will be
I've just been thrilled that I think we've built an audience here, you know, and it's lovely to see not only are people coming to see the show because they know the title, but also there are people who come back to see us year after year, which is amazing because it means that they trust us to create good work, hopefully, and building an audience here makes all the difference. It's brilliant.
And now, obviously, that you're sort of in with the fabric of the Fringe after doing it for the last few years. What's the plans for next year?
It's a very good question. We always say we get nervous because everybody always asks us that, and it's lovely because obviously they want to see the next thing, but we're like, oh my gosh, we've only just finished this one. Actually, next year we're going to be working on an Edgar Allan Poe adaptation. So something we did M.R. James the last couple of years, so we've done a ghost story, and this one's going to be a little bit different. But yeah, so Edgar Allan Poe next time.
No, that sounds really exciting, and we'll be sure to get our tickets for that next year. So, how long are you still at the Fringe? Where are you, and where can people get tickets?
So the show's on every day at the Pleasance Courtyard, 11:25 a.m. The only day we're not doing is the 13th, and we're here right till the end, till the 25th of August.
Well, thank you very much for your time today, and I hope the rest of the Fringe goes as amazing as the start it's been. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us. Thank you.
Right, Ryan. We have just went and seen the theatre show 1984.
Yes, Buck's Tail Soup,
Yep.
a reimagining of George Orwell's classic novel. What was your thoughts, Billy?
To be honest, I'm not too clued up on the original novel. I wanted just to go. I thought their acting was awesome, but I thought came out was quite interesting the way they used it, the way they did the puppetry, and what do you think about it?
Is that right?
Not too bad.
Nah, it was a really, really nice, good piece of theatre. For folk who haven't read George Orwell's novel, it came out in the sort of 1940s, at the end of the 1940s, after sort of the Nazi regime and the Nazi regime in Germany and Stalinism in Russia and such. And what this is what 1984 would have looked like if Britain became this futuristic, dystopian, totalitarian puppet state sort of thing.
You got all that?
What?
You got all that?
Well, no, I'm telling you what the fucking book's about.
Aye.
And that is what the book's about. And it's about...
Have you read the book, aye?
Aye.
Have you?
Aye. I've fucking read loads, me.
I read pamphlets, I do read books.
I read pamphlets. I peruse pamphlets
Aye.
at the most. No, so essentially, so that's what the book's about, and it's about the Big Brother, the deep state, always keeping an eye on you, and you have to conform and do X, Y, and Z and stuff. So they went and they've put this show on, and they've used puppets as one of the ways to show people as puppets to this Big Brother, to the state and stuff. And it was a really lovely, good piece of theatre. I love a bit of theatre that makes you think and go, aye, I get that. And how actually scary it is, really, for, like, and how accurate it is for what the world's gone through just now. So yeah, I thought it was a really a great piece of theatre. For me, it's 4 stars, 45.
See, it's right up your street. I'm very, I don't see much theatre at all. If it's any sort of theatre stuff, I like to have a wee bit of musical sort of element to it. So it was a bit strange for me. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I did like the way they performed. It was mostly for the performance I was looking at. Mm-hmm. Just because, I don't know, because I've got a touch of the tism. I tend to sort of zone out a little bit when there's no enough movement going on, or if I have to focus on somebody talking to me.
You need something shiny.
I do. I need something shiny. Like, put a fruit machine in there and I would have focused for 14 hours. But, all the flashing lights and that. You
exactly.
know? But, aye. For me, this was Ryan's sort of ball game. I knew Ryan because obviously he's read the book, and I was basically there to review as a normal person that doesn't really go to the theatre.
A normal person. Normal folk go to the theatre, but
No,
not your average theatre goer.
So you see, as you can tell by Ryan's lingo, he likes to think he's a little bit upper class.
Yeah, fuck.
But I'm scum.
I'm scum.
No, you're not.
I like being scum.
Aye, but you're scum with a bit of polish on it.
polish with the scum with polish is still scum.
I know, but I'm for the bins.
I'm for the bins. Like, what was that Muppet that used to live in the bins? Is it Groucho or something? Is that it?
Something like that.
Raging at the world because he stays in the bin. But aye, it was a really, really good piece of theatre. So for me, 45, 4 stars. What about you, Billy?
I reckon if I had read the book, it would be the same. But on performance alone, like, what really impressed me is how much they memorise. Like, it's madness how much they have to memorise. Like, and they didn't slip up once. I didn't hear them like slip up any words or like having to redo any lines, or it was just. I was very so for performance wise, I'd give it a 4 out of 5. But for me, like being entertained, I'd have to give it like a 3.
That's fair, Billy. That's fair. For me though, I think the performance, the actors on stage did an immensely good job.
But people are not going to go unless they've read the novel.
No, because I actually think
what I mean?
you didn't need to read the novel. I got the story. I got the dystopian future, the world shite.
But see, I'm out the average person of going there because I've got I was walking in, like, I've like I said, I'm a pamphlet lover. I could rip through at least 2 of them a night. So
2 really good pamphlets.
2 really strong ones though. Like I'm talking about A4. But I know, like I would say if you're into that type of thing, you're definitely going to love it. And like I said, you could tell the passion in Noel when we actually, when you done the interview after. Mm-hmm. Like he loved it. He loved the sort of when he was talking about. You'll not see a flyer or a poster because they like to.
No, there is posters, but there's no flyers.
There's no flyers. So he reuses a lot of materials for his puppets, which is pretty cool. You'll hear that in the interview. But I would say go and see it. Noel's a lovely guy. Was well up for the interview as well. It was nice to see some people are sometimes a bit like, oh, an interview. But I did try my best to do as much research as I could on Noel and the company. But overall, pretty decent.
Aye, good.
On to the next one.
On to the next one.
Ryan's got the wheel. Billy's riding shotgun, cruising through the back roads, chasing down the unknown fun. They got a map full of myths, a playlist that slaps, stopping where the world leaves curious gaps. From Nessie's home in the Scottish Loch to ghost towns where the clocks don't talk, they roll up slow, cameras in hand, telling tales too weird to understand. It's strange stops and stories hit that play, winding through wonders in a wild